Salutations, my friends. Hello, my name is Maria. This is Love, Pray, Paint. And today we're going to be doing a video on my February faves or no ways. In no particular order, we will be going through my monthly faves or my no ways. So I was thinking this would be a really fun monthly video to do at the end of the month, every single month, to do my favorites from that particular month. What I had used the most, what I found worked, what I found didn't work, and kind of do a little bit of a review with you guys. So when you're going out to purchase your own paint or your own supplies, you can make smart decisions as a consumer. Okay. So please give this video a like if you are interested in seeing more of my monthly faves or no ways. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do so you can catch all of my new videos. I upload new videos every single Wednesday and every single Saturday. So yeah, let's do this. Woo, woo. I don't know why I'm a scatterbrain right now. So let's start out on a good note instead of a bad note, and let's talk about this little hidden gem I found at Target. I love this stuff. It has made my life so much easier, my painting so much easier. It is the Delta Creative, and this is America's favorite acrylic paint. This is craft paint. This is not regular acrylic paint. But the reason I love this so much is because it is so pigmented, but yet it is like an easy flow, or what do you want to call it? Easy flow. That's not the name. What do you call it? It's like a soft body paint. It's not heavy body paint. I have the color white and the color black. I am probably gonna buy every single color that they stock at Target. I know this is an old classic from like way back in the day. This is an old brand. I had never tried it before, but I really like it. So if you're in the market for like a soft body paint like Golden, I'm not sure if this is comparable to that because I've never used it, but I mean, just with how pigmented this is, I would say this is probably pretty close to what those are, and those prices are so expensive on those Golden. For a tiny little thing, it's so much money, and these were only like $2.99. So if you're looking for that type of a paint and that type of an easy flow type of paint, these are your best bet. Ignore my animals back there, they're insane. Okay, so we'll go kind of a little left here and talk about one of my misses. And one of my misses was this acrylic gesso. This is the first gesso I've ever bought. Usually I would just use either like just white acrylic paint or house paint even. And I had a really bad experience with this. This is Master's Touch brand. Their stuff is like hit or miss. Some of their stuff is freaking awesome. Like I love their brushes. I like a lot of their canvases. I'm not that like into their paint. I don't think the pigment's really low and it's always dried out and chunky. So I would say stay away from that, but their brushes are always pretty good to me. So if you are gonna buy something from Master's Touch, either go for like their papers or their canvases. But this, I would just stay clear of it. It took forever to dry, and it says dries, water resistant, flexible texture. It took so long to dry that I had it like in my, like I covered my canvas. I waited like 2 or 3 hours, still wasn't dry. Then I just let it sit overnight, and then when I was trying to apply my paint over it, it was dragging up the gesso. I'm assuming I probably did it wrong. So maybe if you are more experienced with gesso, maybe leave me a brand, or like, I don't know. I watched videos on how to do it and read their directions, so I feel like I didn't do it wrong. But if you have maybe some tips or something, if you could leave them below, or if you have a channel and you have a video about this, just tell me about your video and I'll watch it. So that's one that was a miss for me. So another miss for me was these Liquitex Basics I usually love Liquitex Basics paint, the singles, either like the bigger ones or their smaller ones. But I always find when I buy a pack of something from Liquitex Basics that it always tends to be old and dried out. Now I know you can like either bring this back to the store or call the company. I just didn't. I probably should have, because, you know, I'm very conscious of wasting and, you know, like, I don't like wasting money and resources. It's just something that I just don't like doing. So I probably should have returned these, but they were a gift for Christmas, and I feel bad even saying I didn't like them, so hopefully the person who got me these doesn't watch this video. That would suck. But it's not the brand or this kit. Well, it is this kit, but I think they were just old and dried out. I'm pretty sure they probably got them at Michael's. I noticed a lot of the stuff for where I am is usually dried out if you buy it in packs. But let's start with their gesso. Did the same thing as the other gesso, but this one was even worse than the acrylic. This one was even worse than the Master's Touch. It was just dried out and chunky, and it was not good. And then this gel gloss medium, I have one from Master's Touch that's actually really good. It, you know, it made my paint thinner. It was easier to slide it across the canvas. This one actually made it way more difficult. This one chunked up the paint, made it super dried out. There were like chunks of dried gel gloss medium inside of this. It was like chunks of dried up gel. And if you're making a painting, especially if you're going to be like selling something, I don't usually use like Liquitex Basics when I'm something for resale, but I thought, you know, what the hell, let me just use this because I got it for a gift and I should use it up instead of buying, you know, a better one. But it actually ruined my painting. So I whited over it and I started over, and it ended up being fine, but this is a hard pass for me. And then this iridescent medium, this is okay. This one wasn't dried out, but you can't put it on top. Like if you want like an iridescent like shift on your painting, you can't like layer this on top of a dried painting. It actually mutes the color. It like puts a white cast over whatever you had painted. But if you mix this in with your paint, it's okay. It makes it thicker. Like it makes the paint not like what you would think a gel gloss medium or a medium would do, kind of like make it thinner and easier to paint with. This makes it more difficult to paint with, but if you want an iridescent look to your paint, I think this is good. I would say it works best with like white. So that's just my only thing with this, is that I wouldn't put it over a painting. I did that and it muted the color so bad. I was not very happy about it. But it is sparkly and pretty though. But if you know another brand that has like an iridescent medium like that, just please let me know about it. I would appreciate that. And then I hadn't used this yet. It's modeling paste. I don't know how to use this. I think it's kind of like if you, like before you paint, if you want like a thicker consistency or it to be like, not like 3D, but I guess kind of like 3D, you would put this on, let it dry, and then paint over it. I'm assuming that's how you use it. But I actually left one downstairs. It was the textured medium. It's like with the sand in it or whatever, or the gritty stuff. That actually works really well. I do really like that for like beach, like on a beach, if you want to make that a little like textured, like the sand, or like if you're doing mountains or some kind of landscape. That stuff works really well when you mix it in with your paint. It does take a little bit longer to dry, but those were the two in there that were pretty good, the iridescent and then the sand one, whatever it's called, I don't know what it's called, texture medium. But yeah, I don't really know how to use this, so I haven't used it yet, so I'll let you guys know on that one, maybe on my next Faves video. These are something that I had put like stuffed away in my drawer for like an entire year, and I hadn't used them really. And the last like month, maybe month and a half, I have been using them nonstop, and it's crazy because they never dried out. And these are handmade modern paint markers. They're acrylic paint markers from Target, and they're sold in a pack, and they still sell them there. They sell a big pack for like 14 bucks, and then a smaller pack I think is like $6 or $7. And these are phenomenal. These things have not, I mean, and they last forever. I've used these so much in the past month. I mean, I've almost done an entire painting with just these freaking markers. I mean, if you want like a sharp line, or if you want to outline something, or if you want to do like stenciling or write something on a painting, you know, if you're more of like an abstract painter, or even if you're not, these things will save your life. They're freaking awesome. I love them so much. I can't say enough good things about them. I don't have the box anymore, obviously, because I bought them a year ago, but they're definitely one of my favorite things from this month. So excuse the way this box looks, because I decided to use this. I got lazy and I didn't want to go grab a palette, and I used the top of the box for a palette. So don't mind all the crazy colors on top of this. I got this for a gift. It was the Liquitex Basics set. Now, I usually use Liquitex Basic paint. That's the paint that I've used for like a couple years now, and I really like it for like just painting, you know, hobby painting type of thing, not necessarily for resale. I mean, it's okay to resell if you use that paint. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't know about like the life of it, or if it will get dingy. But I didn't like this. Some of the colors were great in it, but most of the colors were really dried out and chunky. So it's not necessarily Liquitex Basics like fault. It was probably the store that I got it from that it was their fault, but it does come with a lot of colors. So I would recommend, if you are going to buy this, either buy it from Amazon or buy it from their website directly, so you know it's going to be fresh and new. But I had the toughest time with it. It was really cool to have all these different colors, but I mean, in theory, you really don't need all those different colors. You really only need like your primary colors, or usually people have like a palette of colors they like to use and kind of stick with. But it was fun to experiment with all of these, but I didn't like that all of them were dried out. I just find with a lot of the time when you buy kind of sets or packs of things, if there's a lot of them, or if they're a bigger size, or, you know, it depends on where you get them. If you don't order them online directly from the store or the manufacturer, chances are they're probably going to be dried out. That's just what I've noticed. And I was pretty disappointed that they were dried out like that. I'm going to use the rest of them because you can just mix in water or put a gel glass medium in there to like thin them out. But nonetheless, I would probably stay clear of buying those sets with like all those tiny mini things, because you really don't know how long they've been sitting around. I mean, to me, it's better to just buy a bottle of like single, you know, bottles of paint. And another fave from February for me was this graphite paper, and this is from Master's Touch again. This stuff is awesome. If you're a portrait artist, or even if you're not, and maybe you're like not the world's best drawer. I mean, I'm pretty good at drawing, but when I'm doing a painting, it's so much easier for me to like get the dimensions of the face completely correct if I use this like with transfer paper and put it directly onto the canvas. It just makes my life 1,000 times easier. And this actually works like a gem, like a charm. It's really good. It like, you know, it puts like the kind of charcoal color. The only problem I had with it is that I didn't know which side to put down, because I had never used it, so I kept putting the wrong side down. I was like, why isn't it working? And I'm like, duh, flip it over. I probably shouldn't have told you guys that, but whatever, you guys can laugh. Another fave for me was this premium tracing pad from Master's Touch. This was awesome. It worked really well. The only thing I will say about it, it works really well, but the only thing I would say about it is If you want to save some money, you could really just buy a roll of parchment paper and it would do exactly the same thing. So what you do with this is you just put it over whatever picture you kind of want to trace out, and you trace it onto the tracing paper, and then you put it on top of your graphite paper and transfer it onto your canvas or whatever you're using, or paper. It does work really well, but next time I'll probably just use like parchment paper from the Dollar Tree, honestly, because that's $1 and this was $6. But I guess, I don't know, there is a lot of pieces in here. There's 50 sheets in here, so maybe it isn't such a bad deal. Maybe it is cheaper than buying that. And then one of my, it's like in between, it's like, it's a fave but not, is this this mixed media pad. I have a love-hate relationship with this. It buckles when you put water or paint or watercolor on it, but if you use it just for sketching, the paper is really good. If you're just using it for sketching, it's really strong enough to withhold. If you do a lot of blending, it doesn't peel up, which is awesome. But if you're using water with it, or you can use pen with it too, that works really well. But if you're doing painting on this, I would say no go, just save your money and buy either canvas pad or buy watercolor paper. So that was it for my monthly faves or no ways. If you like this video, once again, please drop me a like so I know you enjoyed it, and you will, if you want more videos like this. I am planning on doing them every month because I had a lot of fun kind of, you know, working with a bunch of different types of materials and giving you my opinion on them. And you can share your feedback as well with me, because that's also helpful for me as well as for you. So thank you so much. I will see you next Wednesday, and have an awesome week. Bye, guys.